Hello, everybody. My name is Daniel Young. I'm the owner and founder of Adapted Perspective and the Adapted Perspective social media platforms. And I am back to talk about the stock market and closed-end funds and life in general, to be honest. So, to get the normal disclaimers out of the way, this is an unedited video. Who knows what you'll hear in the background as I film these in my house. I'm not a financial advisor, I'm a financial strategist, and I don't speak like the herd. I walk in limited company and sometimes I walk alone. And that really is what it feels like lately. Um, so the update, or I guess the platform update, I am still working on ebooks. Um, in a perfect world, I'd get through about a chapter a day through revisions, but lately it's been longer. So it's really like 2 and 3 chapters. No, it's really like 2 and 3 days per chapter, just really trying to weave thought and metaphor and streamline it through an entire book. So I am maybe three-fourths of the way through the general, all-encompassing, maybe not all general, but really the all-encompassing strategy book. And then I still need to do some work inside the scholarship angle. And then I need to do work as well in the closed-end fund blueprint or in the closed-end fund manuscript. And when those are ready, then I've got some other decisions to make. So it's very much a work in progress, but I am making progress. Stock market. So let's let's talk about where we are right now, and then let's quite honestly see how we can use it to our advantage. So with another week gone, another round of panic from the herd. I mean, this time they're panicked over the shutdown, which is really just a slight bump in the market. Government shutdowns make good headlines. The news sells panic and the herd panics, but the shutdown itself doesn't have a ton of actual real economic impact. It could, depending on what happens as a result of the shutdown and the supposed negotiations. But for the most part, the economy and the market, they just keep chugging along unaffected. But the herd doesn't seem to really grasp that because they hear shutdown and they freak out like it's some type of apocalypse. Um, versus us, we just see a different spin or maybe just a different click in the political cycle that's not an economic cycle. So when volatility kicks up because the herd just can't separate politics from profits, then we treat it for what it is. It's an opportunity. So fear drives discounts, right? And we're targeting the discounts. And that makes this week challenging because there are some funds that I would love to snag. But if we're playing by the metrics or we're playing by the rules, then we're following the discounts and then we're going from there. So, in general, right, the recent fundamentals haven't changed. GDP keeps growing, jobs remain strong, but at the same time, jobs are kind of its own interesting metric because, as we've recently discovered in months past, the jobs report has been fudged and it's been fudged for a long time. But with the shutdown, there's currently only one person manning that jobs desk. So the jobs report isn't going to happen like most people are used to it. And in a big government, the thinning out of government is pushing more people out. I don't know if it's going to increase the overall unemployment rate, but it's certainly going to put more people out into the employment world. So outside of that, oil production's high, tax cuts are helping, the dollar is stronger than the media lets on, and the Fed is playing games. Like, so last month it was, we don't know about this, but we finally cut rates. And they really didn't cut rates that much. So with the government shutdown and who knows about the jobs reports, I don't know what rabbit the Fed is going to pull out of their hat this month, but it's sure to be contentious. Um, it's sure to have um, it's sure to be contentious, and I'm going to guess that rabbit is going to come out of the hat kicking and screaming like it doesn't want to be there. So we'll see what happens. But outside of all that, if you're paying attention, as I continue to say, the US is on the edge of a breakthrough, and it's a breakthrough past a plateau. I feel like we are on the escalator up. Like we're coming up to a part of the journey where if you look straight ahead, you wouldn't be able to tell anything was different, right? But it's almost a mirage because most people see us coming to the edge and we're going to fall off a cliff. And I see it more as we're coming to the edge of what we currently know, but there's an up escalator after that fact. Like there's so much hope in the market right now, but the herd doesn't see it. And I don't know if they want to see it. I know the media doesn't want them to see it. The media doesn't want us to see it, but there is so much hope and potential in the market right now. It's crazy. We are on the forefront of the golden AI revolution, this golden dome idea of protecting the United States, but also just this golden land of opportunity in regards to the AI race in this. The next arms race is not going to be nuclear or NASA based or to the moon, all that jazz. It's going to be an AI race. And currently, it's being fought and waged between the US and China. I mean, that's really the race. So, will we win that race? And maybe winning is not an outright victor, but there's for sure going to be an outright loser. So, can the US win the AI race? We are poised to win the AI race. And with all the onboarding of trillions of dollars into our economy and infrastructure, we are poised to excel in the AI race and continue climbing. See how to say this best. As we look ahead, we're both, yes, we're looking in the current market for the best deal, but we're also looking past all the current noise, right? And we want to not cherry pick. I mean, cherry picking would be amazing in the market, but we want to take the opportunities that are given to us and use those opportunities to our advantage, which is kind of setting the stage for this week, right? But we want to cut through all the noise and see what really lies underneath. It'd be like if you cut into a hot piece of bread and fold it open, like you can see that it's hot and steaming. You can feel the outside that it's great. It's got that crispy edge, but at the same time, it feels soft and tender. When you crack it open or pull it open, you really see what's inside. Don't just take the media's narrative as truth. You're going to have to sift a lot. So if you can cut through all that stuff, right? If you can cut through all the noise or if you can cut through the crust and really see what's inside, every every little like flare of panic, like the dough's not ready yet, or don't touch it, it's too hot, or hey, don't do right. Every little bit of panic that the herd freaks out about, and that really originates in the media, but all of that panic just gives us another chance to buy the future that's on sale right now. And we want to both buy the discount now and use the opportunity now. But we also want to take our knowledge of where we know or where we think the market's going and buy those discounts now so we have them going into the future and we're there before the herd ever even, well, one, before the herd even thinks about it now, but two, long before they show up. So the focuses are still the same. It's still bonds and bonds proxies. It's still utilities and energy transfer. And it's still US stocks that are tied to AI and REITs and overall infrastructure, right? Because shutdown or not, the markets move on and the herd is nervous. The herd is more skittery or more edgy than normal, but that's fine. Let them be. I mean, we're not going to stop them, right? But let them be edgy and let them panic because it creates opportunities for us. Because while they sell in fear, we're buying the opportunity. So let's see where we are for the week. And then maybe this will make a little more sense. So instead of the normal sifting of the list, I pulled up this, like I updated, I didn't just copy and paste. Um, come on. I wanted to look at this week compared to last week because outside of the government shutdown and the the Fed and the labor stats, all that, outside of the shutdown, not much has changed week to week. And we can get into the nitty gritty of that, but not much has changed overall. So I wanted to look at what we looked at last week, which would be this tab. And if the strategy is the same, outside of pricing, right outside of discount, maybe the funds would change, but it's not. It's the same funds as last week, except I left some funds on the list this week that I trimmed off from last week. So last week is this. So we have BRW, FSCO, ADX, and then these two energy transfer, NML and KYN. So BRW, FCO, ADX, right? So BRW, FCO, ADX, plus the energy transfer group, these two. So I wanted to compare some things. So I looked at RLTY between last week's video and today. And it's really not that much different than the fund we already own called RFI. Same company, different fund. It's almost the same exact breakdown or the same exact allocation of funds or percentage of funds, however you want to say it, inside the portfolio. So by buying RLTY at 1521, yes, we would buy it on discount, but we're also paying $3 more than what we currently own. So that doesn't really strike me as a good deal for us. It, like, yes, I love the fund. I would love to buy more RFI, but I don't want to buy a fund. Like, yes, it's on discount, but I don't want to buy a fund that's $3 more just simply because I want more of the fund. I'll just wait till it goes on sale. So that leaves us with this list. And I did already added some numbers, but I wanted to go through this with you. So NML, I would, there's a little bit of difference between NML and KYN if you get past the first page of funds. Um, but NML, as attractive as it is, doesn't quite meet the discount. Where are we? Here we go. Doesn't quite meet the discount parameters. So it's tempting as it is. I mean, it's about 5, right? So that would be about 10. And 928 is about 10 if you really want to get into the gray of things. But it's not quite it. So we take it off. So that leaves us with this list. ADX and USA. They're very different funds. I mean, yes, they pay on a different schedule. They're definitely priced differently, but they're very different funds. So I wanted to look at that. So this is based on Morningstar data. So you have the first 10 of USA's portfolio, and then I'm going to flash over to ADX's top 10, and it's a very different layout. Both are similarly structured to where they're heavily invested and purposefully invested, not over diversified, right? Less than 100 on ADX. I think it's less than one. Oops, that's the wrong USA. But less than 140 on USA standpoint. It's it's hyper focused on US based blue chip powerhouse, both outright AI and overall funds that would benefit from AI. And that's what we want. But the advantage of ADX, well, really the two advantages of ADX. One, it's history. It's over 100 years investing. And if you look at the price scale, which we will here, so this is USA. USA currently is here. It deal wise, it's a great deal right now. It's well before its so if we look at its peak, its recent peak and its recent average, it's below its general average for at least the last year or two. So it's a great deal. If we look at ADX, ADX seems like the $22 range just seems to be its nemesis. And buying it at 22.45 would also be buying it at its peak over the last 5 years, which is not like top on my list of things to do. Like I want to buy it, I want to buy a great deal, right? I want to buy the discount. I also want the price to be ideally lower than my buy-in price. And if it's higher, I don't want to buy at the peak of the stock. The, if the stock continues to go up, and I think it will, then 22.45 is not going to be its peak because the price in general will keep ascending, keep growing. But on my end of things, I don't want to buy it when it's at its peak. I want the best deal possible. And if we look at its history of at least just the history on here, this is since 1995, but it goes back further. Outside of the housing bubble, right? We're just on a forward scale, like a continual increase, and it's currently at its top, like at its peak. But what ADX has outside of experience in years in the market, outside of that, what ADX has is access to this other fund. It's another closed-end fund. So there, you have Adams uh, ADX. You have Adams Diversified investing into Adams Natural Resources. And if we look at Adams Natural Resources and we look at their portfolio, right, you're getting the blue chip companies that are going to see the outright tech companies, yes, who will benefit from AI, but you're getting this powerhouse group of funds who will benefit from increases and advances in technology and AI. But you're also getting access to companies who are making the oil, actually pumping it out, processing it. Oh, great. Google's been finicky with me. So hopefully that doesn't kill the video that bad. But you're also getting access to the companies who are pumping out the oil and creating the technology. Like everything in technology stems from oil production. So without oil, all the technology just doesn't work because you can't make the chips. So you're getting access to the companies pumping the oil. You're also getting access to the companies transferring that product around. Gee whiz. You're also getting access to the companies transferring that product around, right? And then you're getting access to the AI companies. So it's a very interesting process, a very interesting look into AI because it's holistic. Like you get the entire system from point end to point end. And you don't really get that with the USA group, which I love the USA group, but you're not getting the energy aspect. So you're kind of having to piecemeal it together. So inside portfolio options wise, it's kind of so I could buy ADX at its peak premium, but I would get both ends of the AI spectrum. I would get production or all ends really. I would get production, transfer, and the AI result, right? Direct AI with the companies, and then the end to end with all the other companies. If I buy USA, I buy the third and fourth, the AI companies and the companies that benefit from AI. But in order to get the front end of things, I have to piecemeal it with KYN or NML or something else. So it just depends on your look of things. On my end of things, and yes, I have it earmarked this way, partly to remind me, because I want to talk about something else with KYN, but it's options. You're going to have to pick the best option for you. I like the idea of ADX. I dislike their payout scale. Same thing with USA. If we buy USA tomorrow, we don't get a dividend until January. If we bought ADX tomorrow, we don't get a dividend until December. Maybe they'll continue paying a special dividend. Maybe. But ADX, I would like to buy it cheaper. Now, not crazy cheaper, because if you look at the history of things, it's not going to get much cheaper, right? I don't think we're going to see a dip like we've seen in recent years. Maybe, but I don't see that. So I would love for it to just dip a little bit at like $22. That would hit more to threshold, and then it can take off from there. But maybe at 22.45, maybe next week it's at $24. I don't know, right? So just because it's at its current peak doesn't mean it's going to be at its final peak. Um, excuse me. On KYN, it's a better deal this week than last week in the sense that it's about 20 cents cheaper. But in the grand scheme of things, 20 cents is not that big a deal. Even if you bought 1,000 shares, 20 cents is not that big a deal overall. Currently, the yield has slowly gone down. So the price has gone up, the dividend has stayed the same, and the yield has gone down. All of that makes sense. If energy is going to be what I think it needs to be, and what everybody has alluded to of what we need to produce, make, and build in order to continue being on the forefront of the AI race, then we're going to have to transfer more energy around. KYN, NML, everybody. So with overall interest rates going down, supposedly, 0.25% rate is not really a big deal. But if interest rates really do start to go down and not product sale, but the moving of product increases, then I would love to see KYN and NML increase their dividend. And I think that's in their future, but currently we would buy it with a dividend below 8%. And we don't generally do that unless there's a good reason to do that. So if you bought it now and you got a less than 8% yield, because the normal threshold is 9, right? So you buy it below an 8% yield. If they change their dividend, right, then you're buying it at a lower price point and you're getting a better deal as they increase the dividend. So I don't know of these options, even for us, which I would pick. KYN, it's 326 higher than our existing average because we haven't bought it in forever. But it still has room compared to where it is now, compared to where it was pre-COVID. So they're still building back to that point. NML has pretty much closed the distance from where they were to where they are to where they were. There's maybe if you look back into more like 2017, they're maybe about $1.50 off that pricing. Uh, ADX, we've already talked about, is kind of at the it's not kind of at it's at the current maximum height that it's been. So, or at least since the '08 housing crash. So I don't know if that was the housing crash or the dot-com bubble or something, whatever those blurry little lines denotate, or those blurry numbers notate at the bottom. So is there a best option? I like a monthly dividend. I do. And I think USA has the better buy-in price. I mean, it's below its existing maybe 2-year average. I think that's a great deal. KYN seems like a great deal in the grand scheme of things. It's more based on our average buy-in price, but compared to their overall graph, it still seems like a great deal. In ADX, I like that it's all aspects of technology. I like that it's pumping oil, transferring it around. It's not just oil, it's energy in general. So there's oil. They have a natural gas fund that I would love to buy as a single. It's just hard. Of the few funds that I've thought of buying single investments, uh, inside PEO, that Adams Natural Resources Fund, is that one um, natural gas fund. It's EQT. So it's tempting to go with ADX because it's the pumping of energy, the transportation of energy, AI, direct AI making the chips, and then resulting AI and technology growth with all the companies that benefit from it. It's an end-to-end technology fund, even though it doesn't seem like it. I like that. I dislike their quarterly payment. So I don't know if there's a good way. I mean, there's not a way to get everything you want. The bonds at the top that we haven't talked about, those are the bonds I would buy. Like if we didn't buy anything here, we would buy another 200 of both of those if we bought nothing else because they're great buy-in prices. I mean, this is below our average, that's below our average. I can't explain the market dip on FCO. But I mean, that's fine. The herd can skew the market how they want. It's an opportunity for us. So for sure, the bonds, yes, those are the best price they've been in a while. It's how to do, it's what to do on the other front. USA, of the options, USA, yes, is the better deal. ADX is expensive. KYN is higher than what I would like. So maybe it's on our end of things. If that's the remainder, we've built our portfolio enough to where we would get about 800 a month in dividends. Excuse me. So we have about 2,700 residual in the account. You pick up another 800 at the end of October. The ex dividend date for ADX generally hits towards the middle of November. So if we really wanted to attempt to pick up another 100 pack of ADX, I mean, even at 2,600, if we really wanted to buy it now, right? I mean, there are different ways we could work this out. So on my end of things, in longer than this video, uh, I need to puzzle out the best way to go about USA, ADX, and KYN for sure. And then y'all will find out about that on a different video. Of what I do know, it, as crazy as the week is, I've got to find time to pick up 200 shares of both BRW and FCO tomorrow, and then find more time to update the portfolio. And I still got to integrate USA and make a video about how that works on integration. So, um, options for the week, they are these five. The top two are a for sure fade. The bottom three really depend on your portfolio and what makes the most sense to you. USA is a great price. ADX is at its current peak, but it is end to end on technology growth and infrastructure and building. And it's the full system: production, transfer, actual AI chips, and then integration. And then KYN it's all energy and it's 95% energy, a little bit of utilities, and some like building supplies. Um, it and where I think technology is going, where we're going as a country based on power supply and everything else, utility needs, then energy transfer is going to be a big thing. So I think that honestly that about covers it. It's those five. Um, the top two for sure. The bottom three, I got to figure out how to make that work. Um, so what else is there? Make sure I cover everything. Bonds for sure. And then that leaves us, yeah, with energy transfer stocks and AI growth. So if you found value in the video, please hit the like button, drop a comment, and tell me what you're into. Tell me what you think about what the stock picks are or what the closed-end fund picks are, and tell me what you're buying too. And on my end of things, the more you interact with the channel, the more it pushes the information out to other people. On your end of things, the more you interact with the channel, the more people are alerted to your channel, and the more interaction you get on your channel. So please let's hack the algorithm together. And before I go, it's the midpoint of the fall semester, which it just does not seem like it's been that long that we've been in the fall semester. Like it, just a blink of an eye, it's gone. So I've been feeling an increase of stress in my own life. So I don't want to say I'd be remiss, but I don't know another way to say it. It sounds foolish to not tell you some things that have been teachable moments for me. So if you're feeling worn or tired, here are a few things that you can do to keep your mind sharp or maybe get your mind sharp. Sleep, build routine, stay consistent, work out, and hygiene. And I say hygiene because we all know the societal strictures on washing, but did you know there's scriptural hygiene? So to renew your mind and be washed by the word, you actually have to read it. You can't just listen to all these different Facebook video reels and all the crap you see on TikTok, right? You can't just watch little snippets here and there. You actually have to read it and think about it and pray about it. And I think Yoda had it right, which Yoda's not like a Christian metaphor at all. But I think Yoda had it right. It's you do it or you don't. You don't try to do it. Trying to do it is like striving for it. It's you feel like you have to do it, so it weighs you down. But and it's like a sprinter trying to just strive for the extra like the extra foot trying to win versus just running their butt off to get to the end. So I don't want you to feel added weight and pressure to get all the stuff done. I just want to give you some advice and quite honestly, kind of give me some advice at the same time. So if you want to feel your best, sleep longer at least 8 hours a night consistently. Now, some people need less. Like in my college days, I survived on a lot less. In grad school, I survived on a lot less. And when I'm old, now that I'm older, which sounds crazy, but now that I'm a little older, it's a little more wearing to string 5 hour nights together, even though I do it consistently. Um, it gets not, it gets harder, but it also makes it harder to function as long as I have to function during the day. So if I want to be at my best, I need to sleep more than 5 hours a night consistently. Maybe your magic number is not eight, right? Maybe it's 6.5. But if you're habitually getting 5 hours of sleep, you're still not getting 6.5. Um, you want to build good habits. You want to do the hard stuff on the hard days. You want to do the hard stuff when it's easy. So you want to take big tasks and break them down into smaller ones so it's easier to do the smaller ones so the big ones aren't so hard. But you want to build consistency so when you have a hard day and you have a hard workout or a hard mental challenge, you don't just abandon ship and shirk off the challenge, right? I had a hard day, had a bad night's sleep, all this stuff happened. I really need to do this workout, but I don't want to. So you just throw it in the trash. But then it breaks your routine. So it's harder to work out the next day, right? So you want to do the hard stuff on the hard days. You want to work out your body and you want to work out your mind. You want to wash your body and you want to wash your soul. If you want to get it done, you'll figure out a way to do it. It's not just that you feel like you need to do some things, right? That's you thinking about it. That's your mind going, "Hey, you need to pay attention to some things." But if you really want to see a change in areas, or really in the entire system, If you really want to see a change, you'll battle plan it out and then you'll make it happen. And on my end of things, it works the same way. I it's like a mental block. Like I get so much stuff done during the day, and it's like about the same time every day. I work on online posting or book material or video material or the closed end fund list or any number of things late at night. And then it's 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, and I got to go to bed and wake up at 5:30 the next day to do the same thing. And then I make a habit of following that routine. And it actually takes some willpower to break out of that routine because it's a habit, right? It takes planning to change your habits. It takes planning to make your habits better. So whatever it is you need to do to change, financially, yes. Like financial is its own conversation. And we've had that conversation. And I'm not really talking about that conversation. It's more about just talking about you and your life and how to make it better. Right. And there's a much bigger conversation to be had. But in the little stuff, if you want to improve your day and improve your week, which would then improve every aspect of your life, get more sleep, build routine, stay consistent, do the hard stuff, work out, personal hygiene, spiritual hygiene, right? And then at the end of the day, when it's like, I have all this stuff to do, you just pour it out into a list. Like your phone will keep you up longer. Keep a notepad by your bed with pen and paper, right? Notepad. And write out all the stuff that pops in your mind before you go to bed, and then write it down and set it and forget it. It'll be there tomorrow. Okay. Turn your brain off, pray about it, let that stuff go, shut down like you would power down your computer, and let it be, and wake up tomorrow and face the day with a rested mind and body that's able to face the day. So, bare minimum, just think about it. So, whatever you have for the week, I hope it goes well. I wish you well in your financial endeavors. And yeah, if you have a question, comment, or other, just stick it on the video and I will respond. So I wish y'all a great week, happy mid semester, and yeah, I think that's about it. So have a great week, everybody. Bye bye.